Hello everyone, we're going to see what ULEZ is all about today. ULEZ Ultra Low Emission Zone. So would something like an RD350, a two-stroke, pass that emission zone test? Is this clean air? Well, let's find out. We're going to go to London. Yes, I mean London this time. Start this up. Does this look like clean air to you? I guess we're going to find out. Let's first check on the TfL website if my bike is ULEZ compliant. So go on the TfL website, enter the registration number and then press find vehicle. That's the right one, so we confirm that, and we can see here that yes, £12.50 a day is what it's going to cost me to go in the zone. Right, I'm taking the bike up to have the ULEZ test done on it. This is not a TfL test; it's a VOSA test. So Mayor Khan gets no money from this. And what this test is doing is this is filling in a blank in the registration for this motorcycle, which is how much CO2 emissions, various things like that are going on. If you have a look on your registration document, you'll notice that's completely blank, and the reason for that is because nobody's really bothered to do it, because it's just a motorcycle in the 90s. Nobody really knew anything about this stuff. So we get it tested, and we see what the test comes out like. If it comes out favourably, then this is a clean air motorcycle. So let's get topped up and then we can go and do that. So have a recap on what ULEZ is. £12.50 a day to drive in the blue area there if your bike is not compliant. Your bike is not compliant if it is pre-July 2007 or pre-Euro 3. This is to do with the emissions tests that have been carried out of bikes at that time. You can avoid this by getting a certificate of conformity from your motorcycle manufacturer, but these aren't generally available for anything pre-2005. It's a bit sketchy, but you can get that from the manufacturer. There's certainly nothing available for pre-2000 and none for the RD. So the alternative is to go for a Euro 3 emissions test, which is going to put the bike on a rolling road. It's a 16-kilometre test. And from that there'll be an average NOx, and then that'll be used to determine if it is compliant or not. It's just we're going to meet up with one of my pals, and he's going to take his TZR 250 up, and so we're going to be able to see if this is a one-off fluke or if this is generally what we're going to see out of every two-stroke. So made it up to London, there's my beautiful 91 RD, and met up with my mate, and there's his absolutely stunning 91 TZR 250 3XVR. Come to Morden in Surrey, to ULEZ Testing UK. The test costs £175, and if you need a retest, then it's £75, but you don't need that for two strokes.
It doesn't start first time, not just mine.
You want to get out? I'll make sure you shoot.
I'll do it the old-fashioned way. You're going to bump it?
Oh, why don't I just hold the choke out for you? Right, and then just no throttle.
I reckon I need it.
Okay. There you go, just to prove that it's not just old knackered bikes that go for a ULEZ test. Have a look at this. 1.4 litres. Let's hope it passes.
Oh, I've got to kick it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not allowed to record this, and you're not allowed to record any VOSA tests, so you're not allowed to record an MOT. So 15 grams per kilometre is what we're looking for out of this rolling road test. So let's do it. And the results are the RD350 passed, the TZR250 also passed. That's both two strokes have passed the test.
So what do we find out today? This RD, 1991 RD, passed the ULEZ test. This 1991 TZR 250R passed the ULEZ test. Are these two things clean bikes? What do you think? Let's have a look. There you go. These are two very clean bikes that are past ULEZ. So if you think ULEZ is all about clean air, spot on, it's not. It's about getting money out of you. So come down here, get your bike tested. It's a 16-kilometre test, but it's well worth doing. All right, cheers.
So what's this NOx I've been talking about? Well, air contains nitrogen and oxygen. And in the combustion process, I actually meant in the internal combustion process, then these can react and cause NOx. Now, NOx is primarily two compounds, nitric oxide and nitrogen dioxide, and generally they're pretty bad for your health, so we want to try and avoid them. And the amount of NOx created is directly related to the temperature and the pressure of the combustion. So if we look at a two-stroke engine, it has relatively low compression, relatively low combustion temperatures, which means you get relatively low amount of NOx. Four-stroke petrol, slightly higher compression and slightly more NOx. When it comes to diesels though, we've got high compression, high combustion temperatures, which gives us high NOx. And this is primarily what has been the focus of the Clean Air Acts across the UK, is reducing diesel cars because of the amount of NOx they produce. Not so for two-strokes.
Cheers. See you later. must admit, this is quite hard keeping it at 20 miles an hour. I'm spending more time looking at the speed than I am looking at the road, which is not the right way to do it.
.20-mile-an-hour zone, that's another video. So this is a day later. I'm going on the TfL website and I'm checking my bike again to see what the ULEZ status is as it's passed, and just confirm that that's the correct vehicle. And yep, we are no longer going to have to pay ULEZ. A ULEZ compliant motorcycle. It's a 2-stroke. It's great stuff.
I think I need a new set of plugs just after this stretch. It'll be so choked up.
Yeah, 20-mile-an-hour limits. There's more to say about that. But what have we done today? We've taken two 1990s 2-stroke bikes. Bikes that are often seen as dirty, smelly and polluting. And when we measure that with the ULEZ emissions test, they are not. They're clean air motorcycles. There's no pollution coming from those motorcycles. And that's crazy, really. You can't actually fail the ULEZ test on a 2-stroke. If you do, then there's something seriously wrong with your bike. You've probably got a leaking crank seal or something. So 2-strokes pass because they just don't create NOx, and that's the fallacy of ULEZ clean air. It's just talking about one tiny thing. Doesn't make any sense. Oh well, that's it. Take care.